We need to understand this mystery. Why? Why are driving tests giving me headaches? Is this like a conspiracy? Are they trying to kill me? No, I'm just being melodramatic. Anyway. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Florence and this is Zillennial Life Crisis. Today I'm coming at you with a story time video. Yay! One that nobody asked me for. Yay! But I'm gonna tell it anyway. Double yay! And as the title suggests, it's going to be the story time around the 2 times I have taken the driving test. Once when I was in Kenya and more recently after I moved to the US. Without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. The first story takes me back to November 2017. I was still in Kenya, so I enrolled at a driving school and I was doing BCE. That was fun. And you'd get to drive so many different cars. You'd drive the lorry, the 32-seater bus, the minivan, the 14-seater minivan, and then normal small cars. That was fun. I really enjoyed it. So fast forward to the test day. So this day we were told to be at the driving school by 7 a.m. And yeah, I had to wake up at 5:30ish. And if anyone knows me, I hate mornings. I hate mornings. I am not a morning person by any means. So I was already upset that we have to wake up this early for this driving test. But it's okay. It's okay. It's a test. So you do what you have to do. So I woke up early. I got to driving school by 7 a.m. Then we went to the traffic police department, I think, on Kiambu Road. So yeah, so we go there, we get there by 8 a.m. And we were meant to do our theories first and then do the practical test and be done by lunchtime. We thought. Well, we were humbled. We were humbled proper. First of all, we were kept waiting until noon in the hot sun, doing nothing, just being burnt by the sun. That's all we were doing. We weren't there to be sunburnt. We were roasting until noon. Hey, man. Anyway, so noon comes around and then a representative comes and they go oh, so we're really sorry we kept you waiting. Some things have come up and we won't be able to do the theory test today. So the good news is that you pass automatically for the theory test. The bad news is your entire performance will be gauged by your practical exams. So if you guys fail the practical exams, then you fail the entire driving test. I'm okay, cool. I mean, we're here. It's not like we're gonna go back home and cry. Let's do this thing. So we get into the buses and lorry, and then we go to some big field, very huge field. And then I remember we were about maybe 200 of us. There was a lot of us. Maybe 150. 200 is too many. Maybe 150 of us. Then the guy goes the traffic cop was going to do the exam for us. He goes so I can't test all of you because I'm just by myself. If you were more of us, we would have tested all of you. But since it's just me, I will have to take a sample. 20 females, 20 males, and they will represent the entire group. If they pass, you all pass. If they fail, you all fail. If anyone knows me, I don't like putting my life in other people's hands. It stresses me out. And also, I had woken up at 5 in the morning to come and do a test. So you're telling me I will have woken up to come here and sit and do nothing the entire day? No. I need to feel accomplished at the end of this day. So I am going to volunteer to do this driving test. Otherwise, why did I wake up? Why did I come? For what? For when? For why? It needs to make sense. It needs to make sense. So I volunteered myself amongst the 20 females, and I was pretty confident actually in my abilities when it comes to driving. Fast forward, the driving test was not that complex. I had a lot of horror stories. There's friends of mine who had to do a heel start, and they put a bottle behind the vehicle and you're doing the heel start. So if you roll back and step on the bottle, you fail the test. I had a lot of horror stories. But I was on the other side of the spectrum, the easy guys, the ones who have it easy. Thank God. So all you had to do was like go in, start the car, and as soon as like you've balanced the clutch and the gas and it's no longer like it's rolling forward and you don't zima the car, like it doesn't go off, you've passed. That's all you had to do. So when it got to my turn, I did exactly that. I just, start the car, it rolls forward, you balance the clutch and the gas, and you're like, oh, you've passed, okay, switch off the car and leave. So that was like a very easy test, all things considered. But I went back home with a headache because of sitting in the sun from 8 a.m. to noon, doing nothing, just roasting in the sun. Why? Why? Why did we have to sit in the sun from 8 a.m. to noon, doing nothing? And then not even do the theory, which was like the most stressful part of the whole driving experience. Because we would be told, oh, when you're doing the board, if you hesitate, when you're moving the car, I don't know, from lane 3 to lane 1 on the other side, you fail. And they won't let you do the practical if you fail the theory. So I had read this theory like my life depended on it. I had mastered that board like my life depended on it, just to come and sit in the sun from 8 to noon. Fun times. Fast forward to 2019 November. Oh wow, it was also like in November. Nice. So 2 years later, I had just moved in October and I was trying to settle down, and part of settling down includes getting a form of ID. I didn't want to keep using my passport, so I chose to do the driving test and get my driving license because that's considered like a form of ID here. Let me also preface this by saying that driving here and driving in Kenya are completely different. First of all, we drive. We drive on the opposite side of the road. So in Kenya, we drive on the left. Here, we drive on the right. Sounds very trivial, but I can assure you that once you experience it, the things that your brain does, trying to make it make sense, crazy. Also, the driver's seat is on the left side here, but it's on the right side in Kenya. So that means that your blind spots switch. Also sounds trivial, but I can assure you it's not. It's not trivial. It's not trivial at all. What else? We also don't have roundabouts here. We have those traffic junctions everywhere. I actually prefer roundabouts. That's like a different story altogether. I prefer roundabouts. They're superior. So one fine day in November, I went to a driving school nearby work, and I asked them how much does it cost to do the driving test, etc. And they told me of this package that they had, where you get to do the written test and you get 2 tries at the written test. Then you do the practical exam. But right before the practical exam, they give you 1 hour refresher course. And thank God that they told me about it, because I don't know who I was thinking I was, just going in there and expecting myself to do the test right off the bat. I don't know who I thought I was. Who was I thinking I was? Clearly I did not know. Clearly I didn't know. So I signed up, I paid the amount that had to be paid. Then I went back home and began studying for the written exam and the practical exam. So there's like a handbook that you can download online. I read that handbook cover to cover. I didn't even practice tests for the written test. I also watched a bunch of videos on YouTube on what to expect for your driving test, the practical section, just to know what to expect. I don't like walking into things blindly. I like to prepare for things. So yes, fast forward to the day I did my written test. Actually, these tests remind me a lot of primary school. They are multiple choice and they are structured in a way that they make it tricky for you to pass. Like you have to be attentive and memorize the answers. They ask you things like, which of the following is the least likely? You remember those primary school questions? Yeah. And then they have choices like that are so close to each other that you have to memorize the actual answer. For example, let me see. How far from the curb should you park Then choice A is 18 inches, choice B 19 inches, choice C 17 inches. Like, bro, in the grand scheme of things, 19 inches, 18 inches, 17 inches, does it really matter? In the grand scheme of things, like, outside the test, in the grand scheme of things, if you do park your car and let's say the correct answer, for instance, is 18 inches, will you come out and measure and be like, oh wait, 19, that's too far? Or maybe, oh no, 17, that's too close. Let me park it again and get it at exactly 18 inches. I really don't think so. So, I don't know, that's just how the test was. There's like plenty of questions like those. But it's okay. It's cool. It's cool. We did the test and I passed the test. Then I had the practical portion of the test, I think the following day. So the following day I came in, then I met the person who was going to test me. She was very nice actually. Very nice lady. Very nice lady. We go outside and what's in front of me, guys? What's in front of me? A Ford Mustang. Why is the Ford Mustang the driving school car? Somebody explain to me why the Ford Mustang is a driving school car. They need to be giving me a Toyota so that I can feel like I can wreck this car at any time and not feel guilty. Okay, wrecking a Toyota is also like bad. So anyway, I'm shocked. I'm like, oh, okay, no pressure. We go in. I don't even fit in this seat. So we had to do gymnastics, move the seat all the way to the front, lift it all the way up, and then put a pillow. Chronicles of being 4'11". I'm actually 4 feet 11 inches. So those are like typical things about being short. So anyway, after like we figured out how to get me to fit in this particular car, and trying to get comfortable with the controls, etc. Thank God it was an automatic car, because there's no way I would have remembered how to drive a manual car. There's no way. The last time I drove a manual car was at the driving test in 2017. So there's no way I remembered how to drive a manual car. So thank God this was an automatic car. So we got in, she gives me like a briefing of what we're going to do during the 1 hour refresher. She asks me what I want to practice in particular. I told her I want to practice doing the U-turn because I didn't know how to do a U-turn at a junction. It makes no sense. Just have roundabouts, guys. Anyway. So we do the 1 hour refresher. Then immediately like I put the car on and begin rolling forward and trying to leave the driving school. She's like, wait, stop. So I stop and I'm panicking. And she's like, have you driven before? I'm like, yes. You're too close to this side. You're too close to the curb on this side. The blind spot thing I told you about? It was doing its thing. This was the first time I was driving in the US. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea that the first time I'm driving is the day that I'm doing my test. Who did I think I was? So off the bat, I'm already doing the wrong thing. I'm already driving too close to the, what side is this? To the right. And she's not feeling comfortable at all. Anyway, after a while, begin moving again. So we do the refresher thing. It's going well. She's pointing out a million mistakes. She's like, oh, you're too close to this lane. Move back to the center. But in my head, I feel like I'm in the center. It's just because blind spots have changed. We like navigate all the junctions and how to take around U-turns at a junction. Still doesn't make sense until today. Then we go into a residential area and then we reverse like around a corner. We do the parallel parking. We confirm how far I am away from the curb after parallel parking. Everything is going well. And then we drive back to the driving school. So when we get back, she gives me like a lowdown of the things she thinks I should look out for as I do the test. And she's telling me like, watch your right side. What else? Also when parking, watch my right side. When reversing around a corner, watch my right. Just basically watch my new blind spots. That was the basic thing. So we begin the test. And this driving test now was intense, to say the least. My heart was beating. I was stressed. I think doing this 1 hour refresher thing did two things. One, it helped me by a lot, but it also made it evident how unprepared I was for the test. So it made it very evident, and that made me very anxious during the test. So it helped, but it also hurt. Anyway, so we do the test, the whole town roads thing, just navigating the traffic light junctions, stop signs, who has like right of way at a stop sign, just random stuff. Then eventually we go into a residential area, and here you have to demonstrate how you would do street parking, how you would reverse around a corner, and then how you would parallel park. Those are like the 3 maneuvers you have to do to pass your test. So I did like the street parking thing really well. I was those 18 inches from the curb, so I was fine. And then I reversed around the corner. You have to be very close to the curb as you reverse around the corner, but you also don't want to touch the curb as you reverse. And you also have to exaggerate how you keep checking your mirrors. Then each time, I forgot to mention, she had like a pen and paper, like a marking scheme, and she's grading you for everything. So each time you do something, you just see her circling things, putting X's, circling, and I'm just like, oh God, am I failing? Are all those mistakes I'm doing? Anyway, so I begin reversing around the corner, and I can see her like crossing things and circling things, and I'm like, Eventually I'm done. She's like, yeah, that's fine, let's keep moving forward. Then we pull up in front of like another car that's already parked, and she goes like, I want you to parallel park between this car and the one in front of it. Previously I had parallel parked very well, actually, very well. She even commended me. Now I don't know why during the actual test itself this parallel parking thing told me, jokes. You thought? You thought? You guy. I tried parallel parking, and at some point I'm trying to reverse into that position, and I'm like, I am not comfortable. I don't feel like my right blind spots are in a nice place. I feel like I might scratch somebody's car and somebody's Mustang, and no. So I go back forward and try it again. Same thing. Then she goes like, no, just stop, it's okay, let's just keep going. So clearly I failed that section. And I'm like, oh well, I'm definitely failing this test. Who did I think I was? What was I thinking? Why did I not do at least a week of refresher classes? Who was I thinking I was? Who was I trying to impress? Why? Anyway, so we begin heading back to the driving school, and this time she isn't giving a lot of instructions. She's just giving directions back to the driving school. We get there, I park the car, switch it off. Then she begins giving me like a breakdown on how I did. The moment I was dreading. So she begins by telling me, I can tell you're a very good driver and you've driven before, but I feel like you should have done more practice before coming to do the test, because your blind spots were really bad. You were struggling with your blind spots on the right. Clearly, we both saw that you couldn't do the parallel parking maneuver, and that's because, again, your blind spots. So by this time, I'm already bracing for the worst. I already know it's a wrap. I failed. My money down the drain. I have to do this all over again. Long story short, I actually didn't fail. She told me, so your score is an 81 and you only need an 80 to pass the test. So technically, you have passed the test. Technically, you've passed the test. But in my opinion, I think you need more practice to get used to driving on the right side of the road and get used to your new blind spots. And I completely agreed with her, to be honest. I agreed with her. I don't know who I was thinking I was impressing, just hopping into a car the first time and doing my driving test. I don't know. So I remember leaving, and I left with a headache, a stress headache. That's how stressful that test was. And I remember getting home and being so relieved that one, I had passed the test, but also obsessing over all the things I did wrong, because that's a very Florence thing to do. I don't know how many other people do this, but when I do something wrong, it haunts me. It haunts me in my sleep. It haunts me every waking moment. I'll just be sitting somewhere and then I remember I was trying to parallel park and it didn't work. It's a very weird thing. I don't know if you relate. Do you relate? Let me know. Let me know if you relate. But all in all, I was happy I passed the test and I could finally get a driving license. But that was a very humbling experience. Never again will I be going in thinking I know things when I don't. No more trying to prove things. Do your practice sessions before you do the test. Don't be like me. So yeah, that's the story about how I did my driving test twice, both in Kenya and in the US, and my experience doing it. Don't be like me. Prepare for your tests. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story. At the very least, I hope it made you laugh. Laughing at my stupid decisions. If you did, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. And until next time, bye.